Finding a theory of everything is one of the major unsolved problems in physics today. A hypothetical theory that can explain and link together all physical aspects of universe. If we find one, we can explain the true behavior of universe from macroscopic to microscopic level. Einstein's theory of general relativity only focuses on gravity for understanding the behavior of the universe, while another major theory known as the quantum field theory focuses on three non-gravitational forces: the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force and the electromagnetic force, to explain the nature of particles. If we find a way to add both theories, we will be able to understand the true nature of the universe. We will get the theory of everything, but it seems difficult to add the general theory of relativity and quantum field theory. If we add gravity as one of the components of quantum world, both theories starts to fall apart. At extremely small scale, or at the Planck scale, the theory of relativity and the quantum field theory are not compatible. Relativity gives nonsensical answers when we try to scale it down to quantum size, eventually descending to infinite values in its description of gravity. Likewise, quantum mechanics runs into serious trouble when you blow it up to cosmic dimensions. The strings of the theory of relativity and quantum field theory may never get attached. Why not we talk about the string theory, the strongest candidate for the theory of everything. String theory tries to change the perception of everything we imagine right now. It describes that electrons, photons, and everything else we imagine are not point particles as they are thought to be right now. They are described as small strings. In string theory view of everything, small strings vibrate at different frequencies, resulting in particles that have different properties. Just like the strings in a guitar. One of the many vibrational states of the string corresponds to the graviton, a quantum mechanical particle that carries gravitational force. So string theory involves gravitational force as well as different quantum world forces. String theory tries to accommodate almost every phenomenon that is possible in the entire universe from quantum world to cosmic scales. So string theory needs space or vacuum states. String theory needs a total of 10 proposed dimensions in order to work out. That's the major hurdle in proving string theory, the theory of everything. The proposed dimensions of string theory are worth to look at. The first dimension, as we all know, is a one-dimensional object, which exists only in terms of length and has no other dimensions. The second dimension gives us the breadth to measure a thing up, and you get an object that becomes a two-dimensional shape. The third dimension involves depth and gives all objects a sense of area and a cross-section, length, breadth and depth, just like human beings. The fourth dimension, as proposed, is time, the universal location indicator. Along with the three dimensions, knowing an object position in time is like plotting its exact position in universe at the correct instant. The remaining 6 dimensions are where the things get complicated, where immense possibilities come into play. String theory proposes this different dimensions with everything we cannot imagine right now. In the 5th dimension, as proposed, we would see a parallel world of ours. We would see the copies of ourselves that are slightly different from our own world. You may be a billionaire here, or something else. This dimension gives us a chance to measure the similarity and difference between our world and this one. In the 6th dimension, we would see a plane of possible universes where we could compare and position all the possible universes that share same initial conditions with us, and are born with the Big Bang. In the 7th dimension, we would see different world scenarios that start with different initial conditions. In this dimension we will encounter new universes, which have different beginnings from ours. They were not born from Big Bang but rather some another kind. In the 8th dimension, there are different possible worlds, each beginning with different initial conditions and branches out infinitely. In the 8th dimension, you can start with any different Earth as a starting point and have an unlimited amount of possibilities on each of these Earths. The amount of these timelines is indefinite. In the 9th dimension, we can compare all the possible universe histories, starting with all the different possible laws of physics and initial conditions. When you get to the 10th dimension, we reach the point where everything becomes possible and imaginable. Everything a single human being can imagine on Earth can happen in the 10th dimension. Infinite possibilities. Absolutely everything can exist because 10D brings infinite amounts of timelines, making an infinity of possibilities. Beyond this, nothing can be imagined, which makes it the natural limitation of what we can conceive in terms of dimensions. Many questions arises when we think about these dimensions. One of them is that, what if all these dimensions exist simultaneously and we are living in one of them? The dimension of dimensions. The existence of these additional 6 dimensions which we cannot perceive is necessary for string theory in order to be consistent in nature, and are not verified experimentally, and that's why string theory is not approved yet. String theory make us think about the various possibilities that exist in nature, but we did not know if string theory is true or false.